7. Shang Tang and Yi Yin. In the lower reaches of the Yellow River, there was a tribe known as Shang. According to legend, the ancestor of the Shang people, Qi, Xie, had contributed to flood control alongside Yu the Great during the time of Emperor Yao and Shun. Because of their thriving animal husbandry, the Shang tribe grew increasingly powerful. By the late Xia dynasty, when Tang, Shang Tang, became their leader, Shang had already become a formidable force. The Xia dynasty had ruled for over 400 years. By the 16th century BCE, the last Xia king, Jie, ascended the throne. King Jie was infamous for his tyranny. He and his aristocratic elite brutally oppressed the common people, treating slaves with even greater cruelty. He wasted enormous resources on extravagant palace construction and indulged in an extravagant and debauched lifestyle. A loyal minister, Guan Longpang, tried to warn Jie that his reckless rule would alienate the people. However, Jie was infuriated and had Guan executed. The people despised Jie and cursed him, saying, "When will this burning sun finally perish? We would rather die together with you." Seeing that Jie's rule was corrupt and unsustainable, Tang decided to overthrow the Xia dynasty. On the surface, he remained loyal to Jie, but in secret, he expanded his influence and prepared for rebellion. The fall of the Ge tribe. At that time, the ruling class was deeply superstitious, believing that rituals and sacrifices to ancestors and gods were of utmost importance. Near the Shang territory was a small tribe called Ge, ruled by Ge Bo. Ge Bo failed to perform his sacrificial rites on time, which was considered a great offense. Tang sent messengers to question him, but Ge Bo pleaded poverty, saying, "Our land is poor, and we have no livestock to offer as sacrifices." To help, Tang sent him a herd of cattle and sheep as offerings. However, Ge Bo simply ate the livestock instead of using them for the ritual. Tang sent another envoy to question him again, and this time, Ge Bo replied, "I have no grain for the offerings, what can I do?" Tang then dispatched people to help Ge Bo cultivate his fields. He even sent food and wine to the laborious. However, before the food could be delivered, Ge Bo stole the provisions and even killed one of the servants. This act enraged everyone. Seeing this as an opportunity, Tang declared war on Ge and swiftly defeated his tribe. Encouraged by this success, Tang continued his campaign, conquering several nearby tribes and expanding Shang's power. Yet, the foolish King Jie of Xia failed to recognize the growing threat. Yi Yin joins Shang Tang. Among the dowry slaves brought by Tang's wife was a man named Yi Yin, Yin. According to legend, Yi Yin initially served as a cook in Tang's household. However, Tang soon realized that Yi Yin was no ordinary slave. When the two conversed, Tang discovered that Yi Yin had deliberately disguised himself as a slave to seek out Tang. Yi Yin shared his political and military wisdom, explaining strategies for governance and conquest. Tang, recognizing his talent, appointed him as an advisor. Together, they began planning the overthrow of Xia. Testing Jie's strength. Yi Yin advised Tang, "Jie still holds power. Let's test his response by ceasing our tribute to him." Tang followed Yi Yin's plan and stopped paying tribute to Xia. As expected, Jie was enraged and ordered his 9 Yi allies to attack Shang. Realizing that the Yi tribe still obeyed Xia, Yi Yin quickly apologized to Jie and resumed the tribute, biding their time. A year later, some of the 9 Yi tribes rebelled against Xia, unable to endure Jie's oppressive rule. Seeing that Xia's power was weakening, Tang and Yi Yin decided it was time to strike. Declaring the war against Xia. Since the Xia dynasty had ruled for over 400 years, overthrowing it was no easy feat. Tang and Yi Yin carefully planned their attack. Before launching the rebellion, Tang gathered his army and personally addressed his troops, proclaiming, "I do not dare to rebel, but the evil deeds of King Jie are too many. Heaven itself has decreed that I must destroy him. I cannot ignore this divine command." He then announced strict military discipline, ensuring that his soldiers would not harm the innocent. By invoking the mandate of heaven, Tang morally justified his rebellion. His soldiers, who already despised Jie, were highly motivated to fight. The Battle of Mingqiao. The decisive battle between Xia and Shang took place at Mingqiao, modern-day Anhui, Yuncheng, Shaanxi. The Xia army, weakened and demoralized, was utterly defeated by Tang's forces. King Jie fled south to Nanchao, modern-day Chaohu, Anhui, but Tang pursued him. Jie was ultimately captured and exiled in Nanchao, where he lived in disgrace until his death. With Jie's downfall, the Xia dynasty collapsed, and Shang Tang established the Shang dynasty. The Revolution of Shang Tang. The overthrow of Xia by Shang is historically known as the Shang Tang Revolution. In ancient times, rulers believed that dynastic changes were determined by the will of heaven. The word revolution, Gemming, originally meant the mandate changes, signifying a divine transition of power. This concept of revolution was entirely different from the modern sense of social or political uprisings. Instead, it was a dynastic shift legitimized by divine authority. Thus, the Shang dynasty was born, marking the beginning of a new era in Chinese history. 8. Pan Geng moves the capital. When Shang Tang established the Shang dynasty, its first capital was set in Bo, present-day Shanxi, Henan province. However, over the next 300 years, the capital was relocated 5 times due to internal power struggles within the royal family and the frequent flooding of the Yellow River. On one occasion, a catastrophic flood completely submerged the capital, forcing yet another move. By the time the Shang dynasty had passed through 20 rulers, the throne came into the hands of Pan Geng. Pan Geng was a capable and determined monarch. Observing the increasing instability within the kingdom, he decided to relocate the capital once again to restore order. Opposition from the nobles. However, most nobles resisted the move, as they were comfortable in their current surroundings and did not want to endure the hardship of relocation. Some powerful aristocrats even incited the common people to oppose the migration, causing widespread unrest. Despite facing strong opposition, Pan Geng remained steadfast in his decision. He gathered the dissenting nobles and patiently reasoned with them, saying, "I am asking you to relocate for the sake of the kingdom's stability. Instead of understanding my concerns, you are causing unnecessary panic. If you think you can change my mind, you are mistaken." Through firm leadership, Pan Geng defeated the opposition, successfully leading the commoners and slaves across the Yellow River to the new capital at Yin, modern-day Xiaotuan village, Anyang, Henan. Once settled in Yin, Pan Geng reorganized the government, restoring order and strengthening the dynasty. This revival of the Shang dynasty lasted for more than 200 years, during which no further capital relocations occurred. As a result, the Shang dynasty is often referred to as Yin Shang, or simply the Yin dynasty. The discovery of Yin ruins. Over the course of 3,000 years, the once glorious capital of Yin fell into ruins. However, in modern times, archaeologists excavated large quantities of ancient relics in Xiaotuan village, Anyang, confirming it as the site of the Shang dynasty's last capital. This site is now known as Yin Ruins, YNX. Among the most remarkable discoveries were over 100,000 pieces of oracle bones, primarily turtle shells and animal bones, each inscribed with ancient symbols. The birth of oracle bone script. Through research, archaeologists found that the ruling class of the Shang dynasty was deeply superstitious. Before performing rituals, hunting, or waging war, they would conduct divination using turtle shells or animal bones to predict whether the outcome would be auspicious or inauspicious. After the divination, they would carve the event and its result into the bones, preserving their records in writing. This early writing system, which looked significantly different from modern Chinese characters, became known as oracle bone script, Jigwen. Over time, oracle bone inscriptions evolved into Chinese characters, making the Shang dynasty the earliest documented period in Chinese history. Advanced bronze technology in Yin Shang. In addition to the oracle bones, excavations at Yin ruins unearthed a vast number of bronze artifacts, including ritual vessels, weapons, and tools. These bronze works were intricately crafted, showcasing advanced metallurgical and artistic skills of the time. Among the most famous artifacts is the Simuwu Ding, SMWDNG, a massive square bronze cauldron weighing 875 kilograms and standing over 130 centimeters tall. Its surface is decorated with intricate patterns, reflecting the extraordinary craftsmanship of the Shang civilization. However, such massive and elaborate bronze works also reveal the exploitation of slave labor, as creating them would have required enormous amounts of human effort and suffering. Evidence of slavery and human sacrifice. Excavations at Yin ruins have also uncovered tombs of Shang aristocrats. In a royal burial site at Wuguan village, Anyang, archaeologists found large quantities of luxury burial items, including jade, pearls, and other valuables. However, these tombs also contained evidence of brutal human sacrifices. In some graves, numerous slaves were buried alive to accompany their masters in the afterlife. In one tomb, researchers discovered beheaded corpses stacked in piles on one side, while rows of severed skulls lay on the other. Oracle bone inscriptions indicate that during ancestral sacrifices, thousands of slaves were sometimes killed. In one recorded event, as many as 2,600 slaves were slaughtered as offerings. These discoveries provide undeniable evidence of the cruelty of Shang-era slavery, the beginning of recorded Chinese history. The oracle bone inscriptions excavated at Yin ruins offer concrete proof of Shang dynasty society, government, and beliefs. Because of these records, the Shang dynasty marks the beginning of documented Chinese history. Thus, the Shang dynasty, especially after Pan Geng's relocation to Yin, represents not only a period of political consolidation and cultural development but also a society deeply entrenched in slavery, ritualistic sacrifice, and aristocratic power. 9. Jiang Taigong fishing. After Pan Geng, the Shang dynasty passed through 11 more rulers, until it reached its last king, Ju. King Ju was originally an intelligent and skilled warrior. In his early years, he personally led the Shang army in a prolonged war against the Dongi tribes in the east. With his military talent, he won many battles, ultimately conquering the Dongi and spreading Shang culture to the Huai River and Yangtze River regions. However, these wars drained the state's resources, increasing the burden on the people and deepening their suffering. King Ju's tyranny. Like the notorious King Jie of Xia, King Ju of Shang indulged in luxury and pleasure, completely disregarding the well-being of his people. He spent vast amounts of wealth constructing extravagant palaces. In his secondary capital of Chaoga, present-day Qi County, Henan, he built a magnificent deer terrace, where he hoarded gold and treasures. He also built a massive granary called Juqiao, where he stockpiled grain seized from the people. His indulgence reached such extremes that he created a lake of wine and hung meat like forests, allowing himself and his favorite concubine, Deji, to live in unimaginable excess. To suppress opposition, King Ju enforced cruel punishments. Any vassal or commoner who rebelled or criticized him was captured and subjected to torturous execution methods, such as being burned alive on a red-hot bronze pillar, a method known as Paoluo. His brutality and excesses accelerated the downfall of the Shang dynasty. The rise of the Ju tribe. While Shang was declining, a tribe in the west was steadily rising in power. This was the Ju tribe. The Ju people had a long history, dating back to the late Xia dynasty. Initially, they lived in what is now Shaanxi and Gansu provinces, but constant invasions by nomadic tribes such as the Rong and Di forced them to migrate eastward. Their leader, Gugong Danfu, led his people to settle in the plains beneath Mount Qi, present-day Chishan, Shaanxi, where they built a stable and prosperous society. By the time Gugong Danfu's grandson, Ji Chang, later known as King Wen of Ju, inherited the leadership, the Ju tribe had become powerful. King Wen's governance. King Wen was a wise and capable ruler, in stark contrast to King Ju of Shang. While King Ju indulged in wine and hunting, King Wen banned alcohol and forbade nobles from hunting excessively to prevent the destruction of farmlands. He encouraged the people to raise more livestock and grow more crops, strengthening the economy. He welcomed talented individuals into his administration, attracting scholars, strategists, and capable leaders to join him. As a result, the Ju tribe grew stronger and became a major threat to the Shang dynasty. King Ju's imprisonment of King Wen. One of King Ju's ministers, Chong Hohu, slandered King Wen in front of the Shang king, warning that his influence was too great and dangerous to the dynasty. Fearing Ju's growing power, King Ju ordered King Wen's arrest and imprisoned him in Yoli, present-day Tangyin, Henan. To secure his release, Ju nobles bribed King Ju with treasures, fine horses, and beautiful women, as well as gifts for his closest advisors. Seeing these lavish offerings, King Ju was overjoyed and said, even one of these gifts would be enough to ransom Ji Chang. Thus, King Wen was freed. King Wen prepares to overthrow Shang. Upon returning home, King Wen saw the corruption of the Shang dynasty and realized that the people had lost faith in King Ju. He decided that Shang must be overthrown. However, he lacked a skilled military strategist to help him lead the rebellion. So, he began searching for an exceptional general. The meeting with Jiang Zia. One day, King Wen went hunting along the north bank of the Wei River. While traveling, he noticed an old man calmly fishing by the river. Even though a large hunting party passed by, the old man remained unbothered, continuing to fish peacefully. Curious, King Wen approached him and started a conversation. Through their discussion, King Wen discovered that this old man was Jiang Shang, also known as Lu Shang, because Lu was his ancestral land. Jiang Shang was a master strategist, well versed in military tactics, governance, and philosophy. Delighted, King Wen exclaimed, "My grandfather once told me that a great man would come to aid our cause and bring prosperity to our people. That man must be you. My grandfather has been waiting for you for a long time." Jiang Shang smiled, stroked his beard, and agreed to join King Wen. Since King Wen's grandfather had prophesied his arrival, Jiang Shang was later called Taigong Wang, Grand Duke's Hope. Over time, people referred to him as Jiang Taigong, Jiang the Grand Duke. Jiang Taigong strengthens Ju. As King Wen's most trusted advisor, Jiang Taigong helped develop Ju's economy and train its military, making the Ju state even more powerful. One day, King Wen asked Jiang Taigong, "We must overthrow this tyrant. Which state should we attack first?" Jiang Taigong replied, "We should first attack Mishu." Some nobles opposed this plan, saying, "The Mishu ruler is extremely strong, we may not win." Jiang Taigong confidently responded, "Mishu's ruler is cruel and oppresses his people. He has already lost the support of the people. Even if he were 10 times stronger, there is nothing to fear." Following Jiang Taigong's strategy, Ju attacked Mishu, and before the battle even began, the people of Mishu revolted and surrendered their ruler to King Wen. 3 years later, King Wen launched a campaign against Chong, in present-day Fengshui County, Shaanxi, one of the largest vassal states under Shang rule. After defeating Chong, King Wen established a new capital at Fengyi, further consolidating Ju's power. Over the years, many of Shang's territories fell under Ju control, and more tribes pledged allegiance to King Wen. King Wen's death and the unfinished mission. Despite his successes, King Wen did not live to see the fall of Shang. As he prepared to launch an attack on King Ju, he fell ill and passed away. Although he had laid the groundwork for rebellion, it would be his son, King Wu of Ju, and Jiang Taigong who would ultimately bring down the Shang dynasty.